Classical conditioning is when an organism learns to associate a neutral stimulus with a natural biological response, so that the stimulus alone acquires the power to provoke that biological response. The story of classical conditioning begins with the classic experiments of Russian physiologist Ivan Pavlov. Pavlov stumbled into his groundbreaking findings quite by accident. He was studying the salivary response of dogs to different types of foods.
So he's got the dog basically in restraints. He's got a cannula connected to the salivary gland.
Pavlov would put some food, or is actually a food powder, in a dog's mouth. He'd collect saliva from the dog.
He noticed that something was happening with these dogs. When the lab assistant would come into the room, the dog would start salivating before the meat ever made it to the dog's mouth.
They were demonstrating very powerful principles of learned behavior, and soon Pavlov realized he had come across a very important finding. Conditioning is the process of learning associations. The dogs had learned to associate two stimuli, the sound of footsteps and food, and their automatic response was to salivate.
Pavlov replaced the sound of footsteps in the hallway with something systematic, like the ringing of a bell. And so he has a paradigm in which a bell is rung, food is presented. After a few trials like this, the dog salivates when the bell is rung.
Pavlov studies excited behaviorists like John B. Watson. Like Pavlov, Watson believes that psychology should focus on the objective scientific study of observable behaviors rather than the subjective interpretations of feelings, memories, or emotions. One of the areas glossed over by behaviorists is evolution. That an organism is biologically prepared to learn certain associations is another piece of the puzzle. If we look around, we see that our lives are full of classically conditioned responses.